So think about this for a second. The average human attention span has apparently dropped to about 8 seconds, which is pretty wild because that is roughly the same as a goldfish.
Honestly, some days I feel like my attention span is even shorter than that.
Right. Same here. But here is the crazy paradox.
Yeah.
Even with that tiny attention span, you are bombarded by up to 10,000 advertisements every single day.
10,000?
Yeah, up to 10,000 every single day. And obviously, most of them just bounce right off you. But brands are still spending billions, and we are still spending our hard-earned money. So how on earth are they getting you to buy things when you're barely even paying attention?
It's a huge question.
Welcome to the Missing Lessons, where we explain what school never did.
Because every day, your decisions, your habits, and honestly your wallet are being quietly controlled by these psychological invisible strings. So today we are taking a deep dive into the hidden psychology of advertising so you can actually spot these invisible strings before you click buy.
Exactly. And if you're enjoying the Missing Lessons, make sure to follow the podcast, leave a rating, and share it with someone who might find it interesting. It helps us create more episodes and reach more curious minds.
So where do we even start with this? How do 10,000 ads bypass an 8-second filter?
Well, to understand that, we first have to understand the two different operating systems running in our brains. It basically comes down to fast thinking versus slow thinking.
Oh, right, like the brain's autopilot.
Yeah, exactly. So you have a fast brain, which is automatic, it's emotional, completely intuitive. And then you have your slow brain, which is the rational, analytical side. The thing is, your brain uses a ton of calories, so it prefers to stay on autopilot, the fast brain, as much as possible to save energy.
Because thinking too hard is literally exhausting.
It physically is.
Yeah.
And advertisers know this. They purposefully target the fast emotional brain because emotions drive behavior way faster than logic ever could.
I mean, that makes sense on a basic level.
It gets crazier when you look at the numbers. Purely emotional ad campaigns actually see a 31% jump in profitability. Compare that to ads that just use rational facts and logic. Those only see about a 16% jump.
Wait, hold on. I need to push back on this for a second. So you're telling me we think we're making logical choices when we buy, like, a certain car or a new shampoo, but we're actually just feeling our way through the store?
Pretty much.
Because I like to think I'm pretty logical, but, I mean, let me ask everyone listening. Have you ever walked into a store for one specific thing and left with a cart full of stuff you didn't even need?
Oh, I do that at Target all the time.
Right. So I guess the feelings really are running the show.
They absolutely are. There's this famous television commercial from years ago that shows this perfectly. It was for orange juice. And instead of talking about vitamins or pasteurization, they literally just showed a massive, incredibly muscular athlete squeezing a raw orange directly into a juice carton with his bare hands.
Wow. Okay. Very subtle.
Right, and your logical slow brain obviously knows that pasteurized juice doesn't work that way. It goes through factories and processing. But your fast emotional brain just sees that image and immediately registers strength, purity, freshness, and you just want to buy it.
Okay, so they hack the fast brain. But how exactly do they trigger those specific emotions on demand? Because a muscly guy squeezing an orange is one thing, but they do this constantly.
They do, and the main way they do it is through visual cues, like colors, and through storytelling. Let's start with color psychology, because it is literally a biological hack.
Like how fast food places always use red.
Exactly. Red creates a sense of urgency. It actually gets your heart racing just a little bit. That's why you see it on clearance tags and limited time offers. It's screaming at your nervous system to act now.
That is so sneaky. What about other colors?
Well, blue is the opposite. Blue signals trust and calm. It lowers your heart rate.
Yeah.
So think about banks, insurance companies, tech companies. They use blue to make you feel safe handing over your data or your money.
Oh, wow. Yeah, all my banking apps are blue.
Right. And then green shouts wellness, peace, eco-friendly stuff. Yellow pops with joy and optimism, which is why you see it for vacation ads or kids' toys.
So they are painting our emotions just with the color palette.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it goes deeper than that with storytelling. There's this crazy concept called neural coupling.
Neural coupling. That sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It kind of is. So when an ad tells a really good story, let's say it's a commercial showing a cozy family baking bread on a cold winter morning.
Sounds nice.
Right, it feels nice. But what's happening in your head is that your brain literally syncs up with the story. The region of your brain that processes smell will actually light up on a brain scan just from watching them bake the bread on screen.
Wait, really? Just from watching a
Just
vision?
from watching it. Your brain is simulating the smell of fresh bread, which triggers all those warm, nostalgic feelings.
That is wild. I mean, think about that. Have you ever noticed this in your own life? That you suddenly crave hot chocolate just because you saw a heartwarming family scene on TV? It happens to me all the time.
It's neural coupling in action.
Okay, but I have to ask. Colors and stories, they set the mood, sure. But a feeling alone doesn't force us to hand over our credit cards. There must be some kind of actual trigger that closes the deal.
You hit the nail on the head. The mood sets the stage, but the psychological triggers are what actually force the purchase. And there are 3 massive cognitive shortcuts they use that just prey on our brain's laziness.
Okay, what's the first one?
Scarcity. Good old FOMO, the fear of missing out.
Oh, yeah. We value things way more when they are rare.
Exactly. From an evolutionary standpoint, if food was scarce, you had to grab it immediately or you wouldn't survive. Advertisers know this, so just slapping the words limited time only on a product can increase sales conversions by like 332%.
Over 300%, just from adding a sticker.
Literally just from the text. Think about the pumpkin spice latte. It's basically just coffee with some syrup, but because it's only available for a few weeks in the fall, people lose their minds. It generates roughly $100 million a year.
Because if you don't get it now, it's gone.
Right. Your fast brain takes over and screams, get it before winter.
Okay, so scarcity is huge. What's the second trigger?
The second one is the reciprocity principle.
Which is what, exactly?
It's the idea that when someone gives you something, you feel an unconscious burning social obligation to pay them back.
Oh, like when someone buys you a coffee and you're like, well, now I have to buy the next one.
Exactly. But brands weaponize it. Think about the free samples at cosmetic counters, or getting a free 30-day trial for Hulu. They give you something for free because they know you'll feel uncomfortable just taking it and leaving.
It's basically guilt.
It is. There's this great example of a restaurant chain that mails you a $30 gift card for your birthday. Just $30, no strings attached.
That sounds like a terrible business model. They're just giving away money.
But they're not, because they know you aren't going to go to a nice restaurant alone on your birthday and spend exactly $30.
Oh, I see. You bring friends.
You bring 3 friends, you buy drinks, you get appetizers, and suddenly you've spent $150. All because they triggered that subconscious need to reciprocate the gift.
Wow. Okay, so we have scarcity, reciprocity. What's the third one?
The third is a combination of 2 things, the Zeigarnik Effect and the verbatim effect. It's all about cliffhangers and memory.
The Zeigarnik Effect. I think I've heard of that. That's the one where your brain hates unfinished business, right?
That's the one. If you leave a task unfinished, it just loops in your brain, kind of draining your mental battery. Advertisers use this by creating cliffhanger ads. The classic "Got Milk" campaign is a perfect example.
Oh, because it's a question. It demands an answer.
Exactly. It sticks in your head. And then they pair it with the verbatim effect, which is the fact that human memory is terrible at remembering details, but we are great at remembering the gist of things.
We just remember the vibe.
Right. Which is why they don't give you a paragraph of text on a billboard. They give you punchy 3-word slogans, just do it. Or this great Australian billboard campaign that just said, "On ya for gawking," which basically means good on you for staring.
So to summarize all this for everyone listening, these aren't just clever little marketing strategies. This is literally weaponized psychology relying on our brain's laziness to manipulate us.
Weaponized psychology is the perfect way to put it. And it's not just about getting you to buy 1 latte or 1 pair of shoes. The big picture here is that they are designing these triggers to lock us into long-term behavioral loops.
Long-term loops, like shaping how we live our lives.
Completely. And it starts with social proof.
The whole everyone else is doing it, so it must be safe thing.
Yeah. We are a herd species.
Yeah.
If you're looking at a product online, what's the first thing you do?
Scroll down to the reviews, obviously.
Right. 92% of people hesitate to buy something if there are no reviews. The herd has to validate the choice. But once social proof gets you to buy it the first time, the companies pivot. Their goal now is to build a habit loop.
Like a literal addiction loop.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
A habit loop has 3 parts: the cue, the routine, and the reward. Take Starbucks' Red Cup Day as an example.
Oh, everyone goes crazy for the red cups.
Because it's a perfectly engineered habit loop. The red cup itself is the cue. It signals that the holidays are here, the routine is going to the store and buying the coffee, and the reward is that massive sugar rush combined with the cozy feeling of festive belonging.
Oh, I see. So the red cup is just a trigger.
Exactly. And over time, your brain actually gets the dopamine spike just from seeing the red cup before you even taste the coffee.
That is genuinely kind of scary, and I imagine this is only going to get more intense with new technology.
Oh, absolutely. This is why this matters so much for our future and the economy and how future generations are going to consume things. We are entering the era of neuromarketing.
Neuromarketing. That sounds invasive.
It is. Companies aren't just relying on colors and catchy slogans anymore. They are literally tracking biometric data. They are reading subconscious brain waves to build the absolute perfect ad.
Wait, they can measure brain waves to sell us stuff?
Yeah, through eye tracking, heart rate monitors, and EEG scans during test screenings, they know exactly which millisecond of a video triggers your emotions. They are mapping our biology.
Yo, if they have all that data, are we just totally defenseless? How do we even stand a chance against that kind of technology?
That is the most important question, especially for younger people, students, young professionals who are just starting to build their lifelong consumer habits. And the good news is you can become a smarter, wealthier consumer. You just have to build a defense mechanism.
Okay, tell me how. What's the defense?
You have to implement a mandatory slow brain pause.
Like, force the rational brain to wake up.
Exactly. Just give it 10 seconds. Before you hit buy, ask yourself some critical questions. Am I buying this because it's actually scarce? Or did the red text on the website just create fake urgency?
Right, or like, am I buying this thing because I genuinely want it, or did some influencer just make me feel left out?
Yes. You
Yeah.
have to interrogate the feeling. Once you force your analytical brain to evaluate the situation, the invisible strings just snap. You take back control of your choices.
I love that. So I want to pose this to everyone listening. Which explanation do you find most convincing here? Are we basically just powerless victims of this multi-billion-dollar advertising machine, or do we just need to wake up and take back control of our choices?
That is the million-dollar question.
Definitely. And actually, here's a question for you. What is the most memorable ad you've ever seen? And looking back, which psychological trick do you think they were using on you? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.
I can't wait to read those. So just to bring this all together, what we've learned today is that modern advertising totally bypasses our logic. It speaks directly to our fast emotional brain through colors, through neural coupling, and stories.
Right, and then it uses sneaky tricks like scarcity and reciprocity to pull the trigger.
Exactly. And it uses all of that to build lifelong habit loops. But here is the one thought I want to leave you with today. The ultimate, most successful trick of modern advertising isn't forcing you to buy something that you hate. The true trick, the real masterpiece of marketing, is making you believe that buying the product was entirely your own idea to begin with.
Wow, that is going to keep me up at night.
If you enjoyed this episode of The Missing Lessons, don't forget to follow the podcast, leave a rating, and share it with a friend. Your support helps us continue exploring the topics school never taught us.